Yep. But I want to, since there's nothing coming through.
Yeah.
I did saw that.
Oh no, I ain't gotta get too much of this.
By comparison, which is the best I think it's above it ever received. Because that's it. You think somebody goes, and I was like, what is it? It's 10 from the night. So I'm like, alright, how much was it? It was 1989. You're welcome so much.
I know. Yeah, the rack could move over this way. Or even because there's no need for it.
Please be seated. Good evening. I'm Janet Eccleston, the principal, Plymouth Regional High School, and welcome to the National Honor Society and National Technical Honor Society induction ceremony. Tonight, we are proud to recognize and welcome 51 new members to these societies. Congratulations to this year's inductees. The 51 student applications were truly outstanding, and I commend each of you for your hard work, dedication to your academics, and your commitment to excellence. To achieve this honor, students must maintain a high academic average, demonstrate strong character and leadership, and show a commitment to serving their community. Membership in these honor societies is a privilege and a responsibility, one that reflects their dedication and value to scholarship, leadership, service, and character. This evening, you will take a pledge to uphold these core principles. By making this pledge, you are committing not only to yourselves, but also to your school and your community. It is your responsibility to uphold these values throughout your high school career, and I hope you continue to do that throughout your life. I would like to take a moment to thank and recognize our National Honor Society and National Technical Honor Society co-advisors, Mrs. Julia O'Brien and Mr. Jay Fogarty. Thank you for your dedication, leadership, and the time you've devoted to these students as they uphold the highest standards of excellence. I also want to extend my gratitude to our faculty council members, Todd Austin, Lori DeVoe, Will Gunn, Matt Dubois, and John Spear. Thank you for your thoughtful guidance and commitment to this program. Finally, to the parents and families in attendance, thank you for your unwavering support and encouragement you provide each and every day to your children. Their success is truly a reflection of your guidance and care. Once again, congratulations to all of our inductees. Enjoy this special evening. At this time, I would like to invite Anna Boyer, our NHS Vice President, to lead us in the pledge.
Good evening. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Good evening. My name is Reagan Sutherland, and I am the current president of the Plymouth Regional High School National Honor Society. I'm so excited to welcome you all tonight as we formally recognize the new members of our National Honor Society and National Technical Honor Society chapters. This evening, we will highlight the standards of excellence members must maintain as a part of these service and recognition programs. The Alpha Potter chapter of the National Honor Society has been active since 1926, and its members serve as role models for their fellow students and as representatives of PRHS throughout our community at fundraisers, food drives, and outreach programs. We are excited to welcome these individuals who will continue this work as new members of our chapter. Thank you all so much.
Hello, my name is Claire Krugerberg, and I'm the president of National Technical Honor Society. Tonight, we recognize the accomplishments of a group of outstanding career and technical education students who have put forth tremendous effort and shown great aptitude in their chosen technical program. We celebrate their induction into Chapter 671 of the National Technical Honor Society, which PRHS has proudly had a distinguished chapter of since 1992. This is one of the highest accomplishments that can be bestowed upon a technical education student. NTHS was created to honor and recognize these students and believes in empowering and supporting them in their journey to master a skill and embark on a career that they're passionate about. The following are the purposes of NTHS that I find most significant: to develop self-esteem, pride, and encourage students to reach for higher levels of achievement; personal and moral values, honesty, responsibility, initiative, teamwork, productivity, and leadership; to help schools build and maintain effective partnerships with local businesses and industries. The motto of NTHS is as follows: excellence in America's workforce begins with excellence in workforce education. However, I believe this slogan should be success favors the prepared mind, which is precisely what NTHS aims to do for its members: prepare bright minds for bright futures. Thank you.
It is at this time that we proclaim to all in attendance that membership in the Alpha Potter chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as standards for the society. Members of the chapter will now review these qualities for the candidates. We begin with our Vice President, Anna Boyer's presentation of scholarship.
Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
And now our Secretary, Leah Innes, with service.
My office is service. Service can be established in the routine of the day's work where many opportunities arise to help others both at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow.
And now, Treasurer Claire Kruckeberg with leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed, thus, to lead is a meaningful charge to each of our members.
And the last NHS pillar presented by our historian, Mackenzie Huckins, is character.
Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the once developed attain the respect of other. It is the force of character that guides one through life and once developed, grows steadily within. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of consistent thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others, to be rather than to seem. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
In addition to the pillar of the National Honor Society, the National Technical Honor Society has outlined additional qualities members must uphold. At this time, we will light the candles that represent the attributes we must adhere to as members of the National Technical Honor Society. We begin with our Vice President, Gordon Love's presentation of skill.
The first member attribute is skill. Skill is the use of knowledge to develop great ability and expertise necessary to make a positive difference in a particular occupational field.
And now, our Secretary, Jolene Reed, with honesty.
The second member attribute is honesty. Honesty is the quality of being truthful, trustworthy, and fair with everyone while at work or play.
And now, our Treasurer, Thomas Daniel, with responsibility.
The third attribute is responsibility. Responsibility involves the ability to act without guidance or superior authority and being answerable for your actions.
And now, our historian, Mackenzie Huckins, with citizenship.
The fourth attribute is citizenship. Citizenship is being entitled with full civil rights and exercising the duties, rights, and privileges of this status. Fellow members, I hope you recognize these attributes in yourself and value these qualities that make you eligible for membership in the National Technical Honor Society.
And now our NTHS Vice President Gordon Love to present our keynote speaker.
Our guest speaker tonight is Mr. John Spear, Plymouth Regional High School's long-term marketing CTE teacher. Mr. Spear was born and raised in Rochester, New Hampshire. He developed a love for business through learning about his father's insurance company and in high school when he first enrolled in an accounting course. These two experiences solidified Mr. Spear's desire to become a business teacher. Mr. Spear attended Plymouth State College, where he earned his teaching certificate in 1976. At the age of 22, he began teaching business education at Franklin High School, where he continued to work and coach for the next 20 years. Following his time in Franklin, Mr. Spear was hired at NHS, and he has become a pillar of our faculty for the last 28 years. Through his commitment to personal growth, Mr. Spear earned his bachelor's degree in education during his teaching tenure. Throughout his years at NHS, Mr. Spear has been incredibly giving to our school community. He has shown an immense commitment to both the marketing program and our DECA Club, where he has fostered the growth and competitive spirit of our marketing students. He has also extended students' learning of business principals through his time he's committed to running our Cat's Corner school store and the countless hours he's spent operating the Cat Shack for home sporting events. Additionally, Mr. Spear has been the longest-standing member of our Honor Society Faculty Council, where he has worked to vet applicants and maintain high standards for our honor societies. Mr. Spear has also shown tireless commitment to our numerous sports teams. He has coached at least one sport each of his 48 years in education. Most recently, Mr. Spear has worked as a scout for our football team, ensuring the team's preparedness for our upcoming opponents. Above all, John Spear has been an integral part of the fabric of PRHS. Most notably, he is nurturing, encouraging, and an undeniable ability to support students while also holding them accountable. Next year, Mr. Spear looks forward to continuing his growth as he believes in lifelong education, spending time with his family, and remaining connected to the communities he values. When Mr. Spear retires this June, he will be remembered fondly, not only for all of his aforementioned accomplishments, but also for his famous Donut Days and Hot Dog Fridays. As anyone at PRHS can attest, these events, which are woven into our school culture, are highlights for us all. Please give a warm welcome to tonight's honored guest and keynote speaker, Mr. John Spear.
Gordon, thank you so much. Those very kind words. And good evening to everybody. I got to admit, I'm just a little bit scared of what's in front of me here, but I think I can, if I try hard, I can pull it off. I'm a little scared, but I'm tremendously excited to be here. I'm also honored, and I feel humbled to be in front of such an incredibly great group of students. I never honestly, at any point in my career, ever thought anything like this would occur. So I want you to understand that personally, this means an awful lot to me. I do want to thank a few people who have been helpful along the way of getting me ready for this ceremony tonight. I'll start with Mr. Jay Fogarty, Mrs. Julia O'Brien, Mr. Dan Salsa, and Mrs. Lori DeVoe. And I do want to just elaborate just a little bit here. I appreciate the streaming of this program tonight digitally because my wife is in Florida, and she felt kind of, although she's complaining, it's kind of cold down there today. So, but Dan, thank you so much. And Mrs. O'Brien, thank you. Mrs. O'Brien offered to email my wife and forward the link. And I can't say enough. Thank you so much. This is, I think, one of my favorite times of the school year, when we kind of start to head down the home stretch, because there's so much that goes on in this school that has to do with the acknowledgement and the celebrating the academic achievement and the successes of our students. And this is one of these examples. The National Honor Society and National Technical Honor Society. This is a great night, and I'm thrilled with the turnout that we have here. Parents, wonderful. We also have underclassmen award ceremony. We have senior awards and scholarship, which is just a great night for our school. And there's, of course, then there's graduation and baccalaureate. And this school does such a great job of running those activities. So taken together as a group, I see this as a really strong statement for the reason that we're here, whether it be teachers, parents, or students, administrators, it matters not. This is why we are here, to celebrate and recognize academic achievement and success. And again, parents, I was in this situation once where I had got to watch my daughter go through a number of award ceremonies. I was very proud, and I hope that and I know you're proud. So what do I want to talk briefly about tonight? I want to talk about the importance of being able to market yourself. And because, and I want you to understand that I think, first of all, it starts with an objective. It doesn't have to be a long-term objective. It can be something relatively short. But I think there's two things in terms of marketing yourself, is in connecting with your objectives. And I think it's very simple. It's about actions. It's about positive things that you do to move you from this point to your accomplishing your objective. And the second thing is the importance of interpersonal skills, of soft skills. In this day and age of so much technology, I'm really glad to hear that soft skills still matter a whole heck of a lot. So I want to take tonight's ceremony as an example of marketing yourself, because not everybody can be part of either of the two societies. And I want you to understand, if you look at the 4 tenets of this induction: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. Whether you know it or not, you became an open book. And the advisory committee, along with the advisors, got a chance to take a look at you and to use, to an extent, sort of like a magnifying glass, and to discuss. And I want you to understand, again, it's special to be in this organization. Another organization that I would like to see you get a little bit more involved with the chance, is an organization in this community that's the Rotary. It's been around forever. It is comprised of business people who really care about their community. And I know some of you participated last year in their annual penny sale that they've only been doing, I guess, for about 100 years. And I hope that we can get a good turnout next year for that particular group. If you do some research, you're going to find out that there are many recommended ways that you can market yourself. I've picked 3 that I'm going to address. And the first one involves teamwork, becoming a team player, becoming somebody who's willing to get together with other people and collaborate. And I truly believe that there is an increasing expectation on the part of employers that their employees be willing to collaborate, to work with others. And the reason for that, I think, is that there's significant benefit to be derived from that. I truly believe when, the old saying, 2 heads are better than one, when people get together and collaborate, I think that in the end, they usually come up with a better product. And so I'm hoping that you will embrace the idea of collaborating and working with each other. Recently, we had a professional development activity here where we had to get together in interdisciplinary groups. So instead of the usual crew that I am involved with in career technical ed, I was with a group that was comprised of a science teacher, an English teacher, an arts teacher, a mathematics teacher. And I have to tell you, the outcome of that activity was very uplifting for me personally. It energized me. I left feeling incredibly good about it. I enjoyed listening to my teaching colleagues in other subject areas. Forgot the ending. The second thing is to become a lifelong learner. And this is just simply the willingness to acquire new skills and new knowledge throughout your life. And there's a saying, kind of a tough one, but there's a saying here that you can stop being a lifelong learner when you die. And I know, I think that is true, but become a lifelong learner, I think you will find rewarding. Early in my teaching career, when I was bragging to everybody that computer technology was going to drive me right out of education, I had the opportunity to get engaged in a series of workshops that were provided by the Department of Education in the state of New Hampshire. And it was all about learning a new software package called AppleWorks. And AppleWorks was a combination of, it was a mini version, I guess, of what we call Google Suite today, where it was teaching us about word processing, spreadsheet, and database. And all of a sudden, I was able to find that I could use the computer to do worthwhile work. In short order, in the school where I was teaching at the time, I actually volunteered to teach other people, other teachers within the building, to what I had learned about that software package. And I found that, again, to be rewarding. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the development of mentors. And I was thinking just this morning about how my mentors over the years have changed. But it does. You don't have to look too far to find people who are going to be willing to help you. You can start with family members. And I think back in my own case, my mother and father, I think, were incredibly great people for me to talk to. Teachers in high school, why I'm a teacher today. It's as simple as that. And I loved what they had to say to me. And I didn't maybe always agree with them, but I did enjoy it. And professors in college, in Plymouth State, where I spent a lot of my time. Truly wonderful place with wonderful people there. Former bosses. And now we'll get into the technology a little bit about online communities like LinkedIn groups. And one little thing I have forgotten until the last minute here. My wife was also an educator for most of her career. And we have had great talks. And I was amazed at the number of things I could discuss with her and the good feedback that I would get from her. And so I want to count her as one of my mentors. And in conclusion, I want to talk about especially my time teaching here at Plymouth Regional High School. And people ask me about the kids here, and I just say, I love them. They want to know what they're like. Aren't they difficult to deal with? And I say, no. Haven't they just changed and gotten so bad? No. Kids, I've been in this business 48 years. They're no different now than when I put my foot in the door back in 1977 for the first time as a public school teacher. So I want to tell you that I definitely am going to miss this building, this job, everything that goes with it. But I do want to wish you the best. I'm going to be looking anywhere there's news to see if I can pick up on some great thing that somebody in this group of people before me tonight has done. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your words of wisdom and all you've done for the PRHS community, Mr. Spear. At this time, we are excited to formally induct our new NTHS members. With the new National Technical Honor Society inductees, please rise, raise your right hand, and repeat the pledge. The audience can follow along the text as printed in your program. Please join me in reciting the pledge. As a member of the National Technical Honor Society, I pledge to maintain the highest standard of personal conduct. I will apply myself to continue a record of scholastic achievement. And I will strive for excellence in all aspects of my education. I will invest my talents, my skills, and my knowledge in a career of my own choosing. And shall always endeavor to uphold my obligations as a citizen of my community and my country. Thank you. You may be seated.
We will now formally induct our new NHS members. Will the new National Honor Society inductees please rise, raise your right hand, and repeat the pledge? The audience can follow the text as printed in your program. Please join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Thank you. You may be seated. And now, as your name is called, please step forward onto the stage to receive your tokens of membership. Audience, please hold your applause until after we have completed each row. Can the front row please stand? Being inducted into NHS, Iris Adams, not in attendance. NTHS and NHS, Amanda Ahern. NHS, Addison Lane. NTHS and NHS, Michael Apriliano. NHS, Abigail Avery. NHS, Amelia Avery. NTHS, Leela Bakshi. NTHS, Alexander Ballou. NTHS, Hazel Bassingwaite. NTHS, Dylan Bean. Please be seated. Will the second row please stand? Being inducted into NTHS and NHS, Finian Bellamy. NHS, Alex Bullinger. NHS, Ashlyn Brennan. NHS, Graham Burtis. NTHS, Isabel Bouchard. NHS, Erica Courier. NTHS and NHS, Jeffrey Doherty Jr. NHS, John Duffy. NTHS, Connor Dunton. NTHS and NHS, Caleb Dutel. NTHS and NHS, Sebastian Eisenbarth. NTHS and NHS, Ellie England. NTHS and NHS, Elizabeth Fuller. NHS, Sydney Fullerton. Please be seated. Will the third row please stand? Being inducted into NTHS, Haley Garnsey. NTHS, Sabine Holm. NTHS and NHS, Tate Heyman. NTHS, Connor Heidenreich. NTHS, Tegan Hershey. NHS, Blaine Hiltz. NTHS, Nolan Johnson. NHS, Lucette Keene. NTHS and NHS, Camden Learned. NTHS and NHS, Ariane Lee. NHS, Darcy Lucas. NHS Nathan Lyons. NHS Cooper Mack. Please be seated. Will the fourth row please stand? Being inducted into NTHS, Mackenzie Melanson. NHS Ali Merrill. NTHS Claire Miller. NTHS and NHS Turner Oldenburg. NHS Margaret Pittman. NHS Harper Preston. NHS Courtney Sabato. NTHS and NHS Lucia Sakin. NHS Mia Simpson. NHS Isabella Sun. NTHS Riley Stevens. NTHS and NHS Trista Strickland. NHS Elliot Sutherland. NTHS Eliza Thompson. Please be seated. Congratulations to our new Honor Society inductees.
As we near the end of our program this evening, I would like to thank our advisors, Mrs. Julia O'Brien and Mr. Jay Fogarty. Thank you to our administration, teachers, the PRHS Faculty Council, and technology crew for always making sure we have everything we need. We'd like to thank Mr. Salzer for making our live stream available this evening. Thank you to our school board and superintendent of schools for your continued support. Thank you to Chef Rollins and our culinary students for providing refreshments. And one last thank you to Mr. John Spear for making this evening meaningful and memorable.
Before we conclude, I personally would like to congratulate all of the inductees on your hard work and installation into the National Honor and National Technical Honor Societies. Over this past year, it has been a privilege to serve you, and I wish you the very best as you finish the school year. If you stay true to the pillars, you will be a positive force and make a difference in this world. I would like to sincerely thank you again for attending our induction ceremony.
In just a moment, the new inductees will recess, after which we encourage you to join us in the lobby for a reception in their honor prepared by Chef Rollins and the culinary students. But before doing so, please join me once again in applauding all of our new Honor Society members. Thank you. And now will everyone please stand as our inductees exit the auditorium.